Hello, welcome to this short video on making strategic change successful. My name is Elisa Hurst. My colleague John Mendzela and I have worked with many organisations. We've seen many approaches to strategic change. Some have worked and some have not. Let's explore what has worked and what we'd recommend. John, what is the secret of successful strategic change?
It's no secret. Specific circumstances, of course, vary, but we can sum up what's necessary in 3 simple ideas. First, we need clear directions to know where we are going. Next, we need to implement change. I've used the word agile to emphasize the need for a flexible and energetic style to make change happen effectively. And then, to make change sustainable and lasting, we need to match people to outcomes.
How can planning and management processes set clear directions and achieve agile implementation?
Small organizations, and some larger ones, tend to take a simple and superficial approach to planning and management. They're busy with day-to-day operations and rely on just a few simple performance measures, often just financial measures. They don't take the time to set strategic goals and measure performance in a wider and longer-term context. Governance isn't really operating at all. At the other extreme, larger organizations may overdo the whole framework. Operational activity is planned and managed through budgets and performance measures. Elaborate strategic plans are prepared, but often those 2 streams of planning and management, the operational and the strategic, are not well integrated. Strategic initiatives and programs don't drive through to operational change, and the board may get so much detail that the big picture becomes confused. We might call that situation complicated and profound. Lots of data is generated, but not enough clear knowledge. We want to make performance measurement and monitoring effective. We want to keep the picture profound, but present information in a simple and integrated way. To sum up, we want to be simple and profound, especially at the board table.
That's easy to say, but may not be easy to achieve. What can practically be done?
I find it helpful to think about 3 levels of activity, not 2. Ongoing outputs, improvement projects, and genuine strategic change. Let me explain. Business as usual outputs are the ongoing operational activity of the organization. In the past, we described them in terms of goods and services produced. Today, we're more likely to talk about business processes. I'll use the term outputs. Business as usual outputs should meet specific standards of quantity, quality, time, and cost. Those standards are usually called key performance indicators, or for short, KPIs. All of that can be captured in business plans and budgets. If outputs are well documented, with standards clearly defined and understood by staff, then monitoring and reporting is straightforward. Line managers ensure delivery to plans and standards and troubleshoot when necessary. Having approved the outputs and standards as business plans and budgets, the board shouldn't need detailed information unless something is going seriously wrong. The board should just receive exception reporting to confirm that outputs are on track and that any serious divergences are under action. The thick package of operational reports that boards often get simply isn't appropriate. That should not be the board's focus.
So what should the board focus on?
On strategic management, of course. Everyone knows that theoretical answer, but practice is harder. Strategy is about change, but not all change is the same. I often see strategies and strategic plans that fail to differentiate between what I call business improvement projects and genuine strategic change programs and initiatives. Let's examine that difference. Many business change projects are not really strategic in nature. Operational outputs remain essentially the same. They are just delivered to a higher standard. Quantity increases, quality is enhanced, delivery is faster, or fewer resources are consumed. I deliberately use the term projects. Projects are an ideal way to approach business improvements. Project goals can be specified in terms of KPI improvements and other tangible results. Each project should be focused and time-bound and capably managed on behalf of a line management sponsor. An effective organization should generate a stream of business improvement projects to deliver incremental benefits. Directors should know about those projects and hear about progress, but they would not normally be directly involved. The director's role is most important at the beginning to question and confirm project goals, and at the end to evaluate and learn. After many years of experience in leading and managing change, there is a lot I could say about business improvement projects. But let's look at the third level of activity, true strategic change. Strategic change activity comes in two types. What I call a strategic program is familiar to many. It will change how we do business. Typically, a strategic program is a portfolio of related projects performed and delivered over a period of time that may extend to several years. A strategic program will change many things about the business. For example, a move from physical delivery of services using paper documentation to online delivery over the internet. A strategic program has wide scope and many linkages. Investment and risk both increase. So sponsorship and management becomes more complicated, and the board should actively oversee progress. So strategic programs are about planning and doing. We all know about successful strategic programs that change the way business is done, and we may know about failures too. From experience, there's a lot more I could say. But let's turn to something more subtle. A strategic initiative is a different type of activity, concerned mainly with thinking about the scope of organizational activity. You might call it the research phase of strategic change, asking what to do and why, and perhaps prototyping. This is an investment that most large organizations know they need to make, but many smaller organizations tend to neglect this type of activity as too vague or a waste of time. That's a mistake. It's a natural human tendency to spring into action, start planning and doing, but it's the preliminary strategic initiatives that set clear directions and help ensure agile implementation. It's think, plan, do in that order.
What about the third element of successful strategic change, matching people to outcomes?
To make change sustainable, an organization must ensure that its people have the right skills, the right knowledge, and the right culture. In many ways, that's the hardest part. Let's leave that topic for another time.
We hope you enjoyed this short video. Please explore the other resources on the Mendzela website.